I don't even know what that 20,000.
Yeah.
Everyone online will get started in a few minutes. We're just finishing setup.
Brett, what size?
I can come over there too if you want me to, I don't care. So if there was some way you could be in it, just have your name there and they'll see you at all. But
We'll get started shortly. We're just finishing setup.
We're short, I can call.
Just wanted to let you know.
is that full volume?
Should because of the shutdown.
Just letting everyone else know who just joined. We'll be starting in a few
Do you have
minutes.
a
We're
Gmail
just
address?
finishing
No,
up.
but I'm gonna get
Yeah,
one of the
you should
kids.
set-
Okay, there's everybody.
Thanks, Linda.
Alrighty.
Have some peanuts or whatever they are. Help yourself.
That's what it looks like. I'm not sure.
She needed boost to protect her.
Alrighty.
Are
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We're starting the meeting at 6:01. Can you all hear us online? Perfect.
Yep.
Paul, don't take offense. Feel free to unmute yourself when you're ready to talk.
Who's online?
Online, sorry, I didn't have an HDMI. So online, we have Greta, Mark and Lisa, Beryl, Elizabeth, Pinzner, Timmy Duggan, Nicole Sterling, Jonathan's online. and, Jennifer.
You want a HDMI cable? I got it.
I don't have any more plugs.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
have an old
Okay.
computer.
We'll make, well, it's budget season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you call the roll, please?
All right. Let me go shut this door real quick.
Okay. Keep this up.
Alrighty. Commissioner Pinsner,
Present.
Commissioner Glasser. Here. Commissioner Mahol,
Here.
Commissioner Dye,
Here.
Chair Reese,
Present.
Commissioner Duggan,
Yep.
Mayor Pro Tem Sterling.
Here.
And absent tonight, we have Commissioner Cornell, Vice Chair Williams, and that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope everybody got a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting. Is there anybody who saw any errors or anything that needs correction? If so, please let us know right now.
I did want to add for the record, which I sent an email, I had the second motion of the minutes was, I had on there Commissioner Cordell twice, and it was Commissioner Cornell and Commissioner Glasser. So I did update those minutes.
Okay, you caught it yourself.
I know.
Anybody catch anything? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Right. Chair Reese,
Yes.
Commissioner Dye,
Abstain.
Ensigner.
Yes.
Alrighty. Commissioner Mahol, were you here?
I was absent.
Absent, okay. Commissioner Glasser,
Yes.
Commissioner Duggan, were you here? I can't remember.
I wasn't here, but I read through it. Approved.
And Mayor Pro Tem Sterling, I think did you leave?
Yeah, I was only there for part of the time.
Okay,
All right. Thank you. Tonight, we're gonna be going on to our first action item, 5.1. Oh, I'm sorry, first, let me check and see if there's any comment on a non-agenda item. There's nobody here in the room, just the planning commission and Britt. If there's anybody online that has something that they would like to bring up that is a comment on a non-agenda item, please give us your name and address and you will have.
and we got no hands for that.
I never know how to raise my hand. Okay, having heard none, we will close the public comment on non-agenda items and move on to action items. Our first item tonight is item 5.1, minor subdivision 95 West First Street.
Alrighty, so tonight, this is consideration of a minor subdivision application submitted by Mark Myerton, trustee on behalf of Ralph Myerton's Living Trust at 95 West First Street. Let's see, this property is located in industrial zone. The applicant is looking to subdivide this property in accordance with Ralph Myerton's will. You will see on this AIM, I did post photos of the property and location from Google Earth, Boulder County property. So you can see all that information. What I'm going to go through today is the staff analysis. So this application meets the definition of a minor subdivision because the replat seeks to separate the parcel into 3 lots. It's important to note that there are 4 lots within the plat. 4 parcels that are not under the ownership of Ralph Myerton Living Trust. And those are tract 832 A, 832B, 832C, and 832D, which are owned by additional property owners listed on the same. First one I wanted to go through is the proposed subdivision meets or satisfies all applicable requirements of the subdivision regulations. Town staff has confirmed this subdivision meets or satisfies all applicable requirements of the subdivision regulation. Town staff agrees that this application does meet the definition of minor subdivision because the replat seeks to separate into 3 parcels. B, the proposed subdivision conforms to all applicable requirements for the zone districts in which the property is located, included but not limited to requirement for setbacks, height, floor and lot areas, and minimum lot sizes. Town staff has confirmed that the replat will not create or result in creation of a lot or parcel of land that would violate or fail to conform to any applicable zoning or other standard. In the industrial zone, a minimum of 8,000 square feet is required for the minimum lot size area. The 3 lots are listed below. Lot 1, 17.7455 acres. Lot 2, 0.6177. And lot 3, 0.6320, and those are in acres. So you can see the conversion to square footage right beside it. Given these lot sizes, town staff does not foresee any issues with the parcels conforming to all yard and bulk standards. Requirement C, the proposed subdivision substantially conforms to all applicable requirements of the code, ordinances, and resolutions of the town of Nederland. Town staff finds the proposed subdivision conforms to all applicable requirements listed above. D, the proposed subdivision provides adequate capacity of water and water utilities for the entire subdivision or development. Adequate capacity of wastewater utilities may be met by a private septic system, provided that the applicant meets the requirements and complies with Chapter 13 of Nederland Municipal Code. There are no current plans for development. However, if there were to be plans in the future for development, this site would be able to connect to town utilities, and the capacity of water and wastewater utilities would be addressed at that time. Section E, the proposed subdivision substantially conforms to the goals and policies of Nederland Comprehensive Plan to the extent that such goals and policies do not conflict with the provisions or requirements of this code, and to the extent that such goals and policies set forth requirements which are sufficiently specified to permit the Planning Commission or Board of Trustees to decide the application or subdivision meets or fails to meet the goal or policy. The proposal does not address the specific comprehensive plan goals. At this time, the applicants do not plan to build on these properties. If the minor subdivision is approved, they are just looking to split accordingly to the will. However, the sub-area plan and comprehensive plan both address flexible uses that could be done within this zone that the parcel is located in. So that's really the only thing to this. And then Section F, the proposed subdivision, both during and following construction and development, will not result in unreasonable increases and peak of rate discharge, or result in decrease in the quality of discharge, or result in significant change in the direction or location point of discharge of stormwater or surface water flows upon any adjacent or neighboring property. There's no planned construction again or development taking place on this property. So moving forward with that, we've reached out to the fire department, utilities, parks and streets. None of these departments have any concerns with this minor subdivision. And town staff reviewed the application and has no objections either. So with that being said, I will pass it along to you. All of the family is online, so if you have questions that you would like answered, just let me know, and I'm sure they'd be happy to speak.
Okay. Thanks very much. We'll open this up for clarifying questions for the staff, and then we'll let the family speak, and then we'll come back and do further discretion by the PC. Any clarifying questions for the staff by members of the Planning Commission?
Yep. The first one, my question was the purpose, and the purpose is the settlement of the will, it looks like.
Correct.
And it looks like the lots we're talking about are being split off from lot 1. What is currently, or will remain as lot 1?
Yes, so let me pull it up the plat. So lot 2 is currently where Jesse Seaver's building.
Right.
Lot 3 is where the old mining building is located, and then yes, lot 1 will be behind that. That's that entire parcel that pretty much makes up the rest of it.
Okay, so lot 1 is the vast majority of the parcel.
Correct.
17.74 acres.
Mhm.
Okay. And it looks like this has been in process for about 2 years, right?
Yes,
Okay, and then, it looks like the geologic survey says, they have no concerns about subdividing it because we're not talking about construction.
correct, yes. And I also reached out to Boulder County, separately, and they have no concerns as well.
As the Corps engineers doesn't have to weigh in here, do they, on the water flow?
No.
Okay,
I don't think that, because there's no change in use of the property.
Yeah,
right. That's enough for me.
Okay.
thank you.
Any other clarifying questions from the planning commission?
So the zoning on the houses that are existing there, that, where Jesse, the one that Jesse purchased where it burned, those are all considered residential, but with the potential of being
No, those are all still industrial.
industrial.
Yep. So those are industrials, and those are the ones identified in the sub area plan as possible flex use.
Right.
And yeah, I know the discussion we had, I think it was a few months ago, where if the owner, any of those owners wanted to come to us and rezone, that, or not rezone, or no, yeah,
Request a
rezone.
reason.
Request a rezone, yeah, that they could do so. But right now, it's just been identified as, flex, it could be flex zone.
Okay, so this, subdivision would not affect those houses at all?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
Will the parcels still be held by the trust or are they coming out of the trust?
That might be a family question. My assumption based on conversations we've had is it will go to individual owners. So Mark Meyerton and then the three sisters.
Okay.
Well, let's ask that again when we get them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any commissioners online or,
Yeah, I wanted to ask for just clarifying. I was looking for the section F where you said future use allowability. I know there's no current plan for development but I can't find where in the, where the section F is in the packet. And I did look at this earlier, but is
It's
there
just-
somewhere where it lists what the future use?
Oh, like their future use for this?
Well, it says to summarize, if no future development is proposed, does that mean that that's prohibited or just kind of taking it on the right now, there are no plans for that and we should still look at what the future could hold?
I mean, I think right now there are no plans. They haven't identified any plans, so I'm not sure that we should be looking at that. But yeah, in the future, if either of the parties decided they wanted to develop, then that's something that I think we'd eventually weigh on.
Okay,
If
I
that-
must have misheard. I thought there was a section F that you were referencing that listed allowable use for that.
Subdivision will not result in unreasonable increase in peak rate of discharge. But since there's no development being proposed with this change, that's not something we can really weigh on.
I see. Thank you.
Absolutely.
yeah, that was pertaining to stormwater, flow. But you know, that'll all have to be looked at when they come forward for a building application. If somebody wants to develop that at a later time, that'll be looked at. It's not, you know,
Yeah.
nothing's prohibited.
Yeah, or if they did something used by right, then that's something that the engineer would typically review.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, great question.
And so for the time being, everything stays, zoned, industrial.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
We're gonna tackle that next year.
Yeah,
It's just around the corner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did you have anything, trustee Sterling?
Nope, don't have anything.
Okay, then we'll close the, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I just wanted to clarify for the family, since you guys may have not been following like the sub area plan. So essentially, the sub area plan has mentioned industrial use, looking into it as like a flex use. And so a lot of towns are kind of talking about this flexible use right now. We haven't really discussed what that would look like, but what it could mean is instead of just those industrial uses listed in your use group table right now, there would be more uses on top of it. So it might allow residential or this and that. But there would be a lot of engagement with one, the neighbors and you guys as property owners, and two, the planning commission, the board of trustees. So I just wanted to clarify that just in case there was any confusion. It really would just add more uses that you as a property owner could do, or if you sold it, another person could do. if that makes sense. And happy to chat about that more offline. And then as that comes up, I will make sure that all of you, of course, are, getting that invited to those meetings.
Yeah, you'll have an opportunity to weigh in then.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll bring it back then to the family, and if there's any family members that, and you don't have to, but if you'd like to come and tell us what you're wanting to do here, this is a pretty straightforward packet. But if you want to come and give us your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes to tell us, about your application packet.
Yeah, so totally up to you all. You don't have to.
You don't have to, yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, it's straightforward. Beryl, go ahead. Yeah. I can, I think you just have to unmute yourself. It won't let me unmute you.
Okay, now can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just wanted to say that we wanted parcel or lot 1 to stay in the living trust until it is sold.
Okay. That's helpful.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for the clarification.
And just while you're on, do you have already a buyer lined up, or you don't have to disclose that, but do you already have somebody who's planning to buy this and develop it?
You don't have to disclose that if you don't want.
Yeah, you could say, I choose not to.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything now.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
all
fair.
right, no problem.
No worries.
We're just
Okay,
curious.
thank you.
Do any of you want to say anything else? If not, we'll probably public comment, for there is some public on as well.
No, I don't.
Okay. Did I not ask for public comment on that? Did I go off?
You might have, Henry Riller is on here. Henry, I don't know if you want to speak at all or you had any questions, but feel free if not.
Yeah, just tell us your name and address and you'll have 3 minutes, Henry.
Oh, your mic's not working. There's a call-in link. If you want, you could try to dial in by your phone. Or if you want to send me an email, I can read it out loud.
Yeah, we'll keep going and then come back to you when you get your technical
Yeah, that's
stuff
fine.
figured out. But, okay, let's bring it back then to the discussion by the planning commission. Like I said, this looks pretty straightforward. It's what the trust wants to do. It's certainly within the rights and the staff recommends it, so I have no problem with that. What other comments and input does the rest of the planning commission have?
Okay, we know the purpose and it fulfills the purpose. We know that it fulfills all 3 requirements. I don't think there's any question there. We're not talking about what's going to be developed there in the future or under what circumstances. We're not talking about any rezoning as part of this, so I've got no objections. Seems like is a property owner as well within their rights, and they went through the steps, and this helps them solve their problem. Yep. Likewise.
Go with that.
Okay, we're getting nods here in the room. Anybody online have input that they'd like to add? Planning commission members or our trustee liaison? No. Okay. Well, then if that's the case,
Henry, we still can't hear you.
Yeah.
I'm guessing thumbs up is good. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
That's like almost a nod.
Yes.
all right. Then if that's the case, I would entertain a motion unless there's something further to be discussed about.
I'll make the motion to approve the minor subdivision of 95 West First Street as presented.
I'll second that.
Right. Carries,
Yes.
Commissioner Dye,
Yes.
Commissioner Pinsner,
Yes.
Commissioner Glazer,
Yes,
Commissioner Mahold,
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer.
Approved.
Perfect. Okay, this passes, and just to let you all know, you're welcome to jump off the meeting. You can stay on if you'd like. And I will send you an email of next steps to everyone, okay? Thank you.
Thanks for
Good seeing
coming
you
on.
guys.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay. Yeah, pretty straightforward. I always like it when there's no issues that come up, ankle biters. We'll go on to action item 5.2, the overlay district final ordinance. We have been working on this for quite a while. It's come back to us. We've had two separate work sessions on this, which included members of the public, interested stakeholder owners and holders, excuse me, and some members of the BOT. I feel like did this well. There's never going to get 100% consensus on an item as complicated as this, but I feel like we've gotten to the 85% solution that we can all agree on. And but if there's other things, and I know we have, Mike has been absent the last meeting when we were talking about that, but this would be the time after Britt presents, just abbreviate about it. And if you have some concerns, and we can kind of talk about them here. So.
Yeah, so I really didn't change the aim. It really has some of those key information we made decisions on. The only thing I will add to the ordinance is originally, I think last meeting, we had talked about having illustrations with the definitions of complex roof types. It was very complicated to find very clear illustrations to go with it, but I think you'll read from the definitions, you'll see that it's a pretty clear definition, and it makes it really easy for me to just Google and show somebody what that looks like if they truly have that question. So that's really the only difference from the last conversation we had, but please let myself and Jennifer know if you have any feedback on the ordinance or any questions.
Okay. Is there any clarifying questions by the planning commission or the staff?
This is Commissioner Dye. The only question that I have is that since I was absent last meeting, was it talked about it all with the center burning down? I don't know if that would impact this at all.
Could you pick up a little bit?
Yeah. I was wondering if during the last meeting it was addressed about the burning down of the shopping center impacts this at all, or if there was any thought about that. I'm not sure that it does, but I was just wondering if it was discussed.
It was not discussed,
Yeah.
and I think our meeting actually happened before
And it did happen right
the fire.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
okay.
Jonathan.
I understand your concern. I don't think it does. I think it's not contemplated within the district boundary. That project is entitled for a certain use already, which I think they're looking into. So that's something that we'll probably see coming in the near future. We have done some analysis. So this has been something that the board has been talking about more at the policy level for the budget. The approximate sales tax loss from the center was about $146,000 total, which definitely hits our budget. But one of the things that we're really focused on right now is making sure all of those people that use that facility for their businesses can become whole. And I think that's got nothing but positive benefit to the town. And so a lot of that work has happened. There's only a few businesses left that are still looking for a new place to operate. And so I think on the town side, what we're planning on doing is in June-ish, having a mid-year update, financial update, once we know the true financial impact of what that is. One thing to know is sales tax is 2 months in arrears all the time. So we actually can't even measure the full impact yet on the sales tax. And so that's one of the reasons why we've been focusing on the people side of it. In terms of like the overall overlay district, the Board of Trustees did grant me emergency powers. That's another important thing to know, which allows me to, in some cases, abbreviate land use decision processes. One way that we've used it, and really the only way so far, is to open the clinic back up as soon as we possibly could in the old Poppy Plaza building. They'll still go through an SRU process later once we kind of get everything kind of settled. And so basically all we did is we think that it appears to meet all the criteria of that decision-making process. And so we allowed them to open. We could, in theory, do that for another business if it came up. But I think we're kind of moving out of that emergency phase now. And so I think really right now what the focus should be is, well, and I guess I won't say that. I think for the downtown district, I think creating this overlay district that creates certainty for the developer of any of those properties is really a good thing for us, so that there's just some really clear standards for what what they're gonna be able to do down there.
Great. Thank you.
Any other clarifying questions for the staff?
Yeah, I have a clarifying question. Was the fire department consulted on the suggested increased height to the 43 feet?
I can do that one too, Britt, if you want.
That's fine.
Okay, so the planning commission has really been reviewing the land use decision-making process here. The board of trustees is gonna have to review this again, and the fire code is distinct and separate from that. And I think the fire code, there's some concern. I think the fire department has said that they're concerned about that height. And so as we kind of talked about it, I think the most appropriate body to be speaking about that is the board of trustees. And so when we bring this back to the board of trustees, what I'd like to do is have a work session on it so we can talk through kind of the land use analysis that this body has done, and then we can talk through how we would want to align with the fire code. So we have had some like on the staff end conversations, but it hasn't been a part of the policy decision.
I did get a request today. The fire department would like to be involved with the board of trustee conversation. That is what I got today.
Okay, thank you.
So we're working that out logistically.
Okay, anything else? Okay, I'll close the clarifying questions and open it up for public comment. Is that right? Yeah. Is there anybody in the public that would like to comment on this before we bring it back for discussion by the planning commission? Please make yourself known. Okay, there's nobody here in the room, and having seen none online, we'll close the public comment and bring it back to the planning commission for discussion. This has been a very involved process. This whole year has been. I feel like the work sessions, we really drilled down on a lot of the specifics that were recommended in the sub area plan. And I just want to kind of bring everything back to folks that, this is the culmination of the comp plan process, all of the public engagements, the online surveys, people coming here and putting their stickers on the design standards, all that things that happened for 18 months was all pulled together in our big comprehensive plan that we paid over $200,000 on. And that is, so we're trying to enact what we're hearing, our population, over 337 separate engagements from our public. And we're trying to do it, there's always going to be something that could be a sticking point, but we're trying to get to the, best solution we can get and move forward. And again, as John said, create certainty for the future building environment for our downtown corridor. I feel like that we've really done a thorough process with our 2 work sessions. Everybody from the public was welcome to be involved who had a stake in it and wanted to be. And so I feel like my personal opinion is this is a good document. We couldn't solve every single thing we're looking at, but we've got a good document there, and that we can do some adjusting from there. With any plan, you gotta get something in place and see where the issues are before you can start to adjust it and make it better. So that's my pitch on why I feel like we gotta approve this plan today. I'm in favor of it, and I'll leave it at that and turn it over to the rest of the commission to ask any questions or add any comments at this time.
Britt, it's been a long process. Any final concerns as we think about moving ahead tonight?
No, I haven't gotten any feedback from any owners. And the only other feedback I got is just the fire department would like to talk through more with the board. But again, as John said, we'll let that scope happen, because I think from the land use side, we've really done a pretty good job here. So just appreciate everyone's time and effort into this project.
Second question is, anybody filed any plans that are waiting for this decision? Is there any plans on the table inside this overlay district right now?
Not right now. There is an owner who is readjusting plans accordingly, and that is the only feedback I've gotten.
Okay.
but he has not submitted anything yet. Sounds like there will be another open house and go from there.
Good. I don't think there's much more to discuss.
Yeah, we've been pretty thorough on that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know, and I just realized, it just hit me that, I don't know, did you get told that we decided to take that marijuana piece of the concern you had about that?
Yes.
That
Yeah,
came,
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
we were run over by your argument.
All right.
Yeah. So, okay, any stuff to add, people online, or?
I think it's time to send it on to the board.
We have to approve it first.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
And they won't come back to us.
So I would entertain a motion on this then, if we are feeling like there's nothing else to discuss on it.
I move to recommend approval of ordinance 82, amending chapter 16 of the Netherlands Municipal Code, adopting a first street overlay district, amending chapter 17 of the code in over the district. Let me read the whole thing.
No, ordinance, I second.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Commissioner Pinciner,
Yes.
Commissioner Duck,
Approved.
Commissioner Mahol,
Yes.
Commissioner Glassman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn,
Affirmative.
Chair Reese.
Yes.
All righty.
Okay, Jim.
Yes, did it. So proud.
There's been a lot of stuff, a lot of accomplished this year, and I really appreciate the hard work of the planning commission and the willingness to come in on extra meetings and get this done. You know, again, I'll just reiterate, you know, I'm repeating myself. I know that, you know, no plan is 100% perfect. So you got to get together a good plan and then adjust from there. And I think this is a good plan. And the other thing is this is a 10-year plan. So who knows what things are going to look like, you know, as we get 5, 6, 7 years down the line for building technology and different things. I will come to the BOT meeting, be there to answer questions and
Yeah.
present if they need anything. But other than that, thank you very much. That was a big lift. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to item 5.3, home occupation ordinance.
Alrighty. So this is consideration of ordinance 883, amending Netherlands Municipal Code, section 16-76 concerning home occupations. The proposed amends the section I just mentioned. These changes clarify the home occupations may be permitted in neighborhood commercial, general commercial, and CBD, central business district. When conducted within a lawful non-conforming residential structure. The ordinance also removes reference to the discontinued forestry zoning district. The purpose of these text amendments is to clearly outline where home occupations are allowed, ensure that code reflects town's current zoning map, and support economic resiliency by enabling adaptive reuse of existing structures for small-scale business activity. The proposed amendments are consistent with Netherlands Comprehensive Plan and the Downtown Sub-Area Plan, which support local I can never say that word. Never mind, we're gonna pass. It's been a long day. Flexibility in land use and preservation of Netherlands small town character. And just to clarify again, this is really just providing clearer guidance to residents and applicants and town staff. Increase consistency within our code. Support small scale businesses, activities appropriate for Netherlands context. And align land use regulations with towns' adopted long-range planning documents. So I kind of like just bullet point reiterated the same thing over and over and over. But again, it eliminates that forestry zone. It allow the home uses occupation remain permitted in MR, LDR, NDR, and HDR. But there's new language now that clarifies home occupations in NC, GC, and CBD zones. Again, only when located within lawfully non-conforming residential structures. If you have any questions, Jennifer did put this ordinance together, and with her and I think we can get you some answers. So, go from there.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any clarifying questions for the staff? or for Attorney Meds?
Let's step back. What's the reason that we had to craft this? It's been several meetings and I've forgotten.
Absolutely. So originally we had someone who currently lives in a non-conforming residential unit in neighborhood commercial that wanted to do a small scale, bread stand essentially. And since it's not clearly identified in that code, the only section of language there was that if unclear, go to the planning commission. And last, planning commission meeting that we spoke about, I think it was 2 ago now.
Yeah.
The planning commission directed staff to, one, this makes sense, this use makes sense, especially in those non-conforming residential. So to go ahead and move forward with these amendments to this code.
So this is clean up. Yeah.
Exactly. So instead of coming forward to you guys asking that same ask, if we get more people like that, it's already clear in code that we are allowed to allow that. And then just have them pull the proper permit, like permits for it, contractor's license, business license, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So it makes your end easier as well, because you've had.
Yes, yeah, and then it saves time, so we can have these big conversations we're having, and then the applicants can start their business right away, instead of her having to wait, you know, almost 30 days to start her business.
Or, because then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and, you know, but basically what we did, Tom, was we had, were you here at that meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, you were, okay.
Yeah, I
Oh, you
didn't
know-
want
you
to,
know
I want to make sure, I remember the discussion, and I knew that we agreed in principle what we were trying to do. We were just thought it was a little bit ambiguous, as I remember, and we wanted this cleaned up so it wasn't ambiguous. And it looks like it achieves that. It increases, bullet number 1 increases the internal consistency in the zoning code
Yes.
and clearer guidance.
Okay, other clarifying questions?
A couple of questions about, I'm looking at page 2 of the ordinance.
Okay.
Page 35 of the packet. With points 1 and 3, there are restrictions put on limited to 1 on-site employee. And on bullet point number 3.
You gotta speak up a little bit.
In the total area used for such purposes shall not exceed 1/2 of the floor area of the user's dwelling unit. Accessory structures and attached garages may not be considered under this provision. I'm curious about why the strict restrictions on the employees and on the garages and accessory structures are in place. Excuse me.
Does anyone want to help me with?
Yeah,
No, you're
or
fine.
Jennifer can. Yeah.
So just to clarify, Commissioner Dye, those changes, that language is in the existing code. So that's not anything new. And really the reasons why those are in the code to begin with is to limit the impacts on other residential neighboring property. You know, residential uses have you know, a smaller number of people occupying the residence. It's just to prevent the home occupation business from acting like more of a commercial use that impacts the neighboring properties.
Really makes sense. Thank you. And I'll say that for discussion.
Okay. Any other clarifying questions before we open it up to public comment? Okay, having heard none, we'll close the clarifying questions and open it up to public comment. If there's anybody, there's no one here in the room still. If there's anybody online that would like to speak to this, you make yourself known and give us your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes. Okay, having heard none, we'll close the public comment. If somebody is trying to unmute themselves, we'll get you in there. And we'll bring it back to the planning commission. Again, I feel like this is another pretty straightforward ordinance. There was a little discussion, I think, on interpretation of the code that Roger had thought about it. And, you know, I felt like you could kind of see it you know, if you could possibly make it squeeze into that, but, basically, you know, the staff and Attorney Madsen said, hey, this is the better solution. And, you know, we always want to support our staff. And so that's why we're going forward with this. And it'll solve this problem because of these non-conforming residences that are in the CBD for these kind of things in the future. So any discussion on this, now would be the time if you have input or concerns.
Looking over, I'm going to motion to approve, but I'm looking at the motion itself. Why does it call it a subdivision?
So I clarified that, sorry, to clarify for the record, earlier today, I made an adjustment to that and I noted it in our email to the planning commission. That was just a typo. So move out minor subdivision.
Yeah,
Yes, and sorry, I think it got updated later than probably printing. But just move out that, it's essentially just very straightforward.
okay, good.
Thank you.
Anything else? Or can I move, should I?
Well, let's see if anybody else has
No, I'm good.
anything, anybody online, that have anything you'd like to add? Nods, shakes a head, so no, yeah, I would entertain a motion, yes.
I move to recommend approval of ordinance 883, amending the Netherlands Municipal Code, section 16.76 concerning home occupations.
I second.
Okay. All right. Chair Reese, Commissioner Duggan,
Yep.
Commissioner Dye,
Yes.
Commissioner Glasser,
Yes.
Commissioner Pinsner, Commissioner Maholt.
Yes.
Alrighty.
All right,
Yep.
passes great, man, look at this, you guys,
You guys are
one,
so efficient.
I'm so impressed that you caught that, it just shows that you guys are reading the packet, that's good, attention to detail.
Yeah,
And we're moving along here, 45 minutes and we're already through 3 action items. Great job. Of course, that doesn't talk about all the meetings that went to make sure we could.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
Those meetings prior to this.
Yeah. So we'll go to informational items.
Even the after action item or after action discussion that went through Thursday.
yes.
So I believe there was an issue that the staff wanted to bring up. Is this the time?
I was gonna do in another business. I
Other
can,
business, okay.
yeah, I can.
Why don't you just, let's talk about it now.
Yeah, so, I wanted to bring up, canceling December's meeting. We really don't have any actionable items right now for the agenda, and I'm gonna be honest, I am really at capacity. With a lot of stuff that I gotta get done for the end of the year, so if you guys are open to it, I'd love to reconvene back in January.
Motion to approve.
I second that.
Although since I already have the tent locked up, is there any way that we can help you with that time?
No, by going to the volunteer party, we're gonna be getting invitations out. I would love for, to celebrate you guys in that way. Other than that, no, nothing you can do, but actually, something you can do. Our old website will be decommissioned this week, so our new one is up. And I'm just really asking people, because it's been just my eyes on it, to look through and let me know of any edits you have. The future will be updated. So like Tom has found some, I've gotten some broken links, but yeah, if you have anything you don't like the flow or you think could, please feel free to send it to me. And so I put that out on our social media. The old website will still come up until they decommission it. But yeah, if you want to check out the new one, I'm happy to text the link to you.
It
That would
looks
be
great on
awesome.
the phone.
It's definitely a better flow and it will change. So soon you're gonna see some updates because our live action like snowplow, we'll go up there, the reports.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So this website will be constantly changing based on seasons. But would love any feedback you guys have. So I
So
can
that sounds like homework.
continue.
That sounds like if we're not having a meeting in December, maybe you'd like us to go, at least go
For you guys.
look at that and send you an email if we see any
Yes.
issues. So-
Yes, that would be awesome if you could do that, cause and just to flow to me might be different than the average person, and so I shot out an email to all my contractors and I'm like, is it easy to work through? Like, should I do a tutorial video? So any feedback you have would be awesome.
Okay.
You got
Um,
You know, I don't know the answer to this. Do we have to have a vote to cancel a meeting or is it just?
That's
something
a
we
great
decide?
question. Jennifer, do we have to have a vote?
Oh, you might as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I make a motion to cancel the December 2025 meeting. The planning commission resume business in January 2026.
Okay.
Second.
I second that motion.
All right, y'all, I'm just gonna say it all in favor for that one.
Right.
All right.
Perfect. Know you all. Some things I did want to highlight. Again, like I said, we'll have, new plow stuff coming to you guys soon, although we haven't seen any snow. We had our budget hearing last night, so I recommend you go check that out if you haven't. Let me know if you'd like me to send it to you guys.
I appreciate just a summary from John on what happened.
Absolutely. John, do you mind giving a little summary?
Do you want me to run you through my presentation really fast? I could pull it up really quick.
I wouldn't even go that far. I just, if you had 5 things that we should know from what happened last night, budget wise, I think that
Sure.
would suffice.
We have completely overhauled our budget process since I've been in Netherlands. And so the goal has been to try to start it as early as possible and to be honestly as repetitive as possible, making sure people have the information so that the board of trustees and the public have a good opportunity for engagement. So it's not all happening towards Christmas time. And so really this year, what was really critical for that is we got the audit done by May, which is very, very early. It's typically due July 31st, which meant that Rita could finalize all our numbers and then we could start with the department budgets over the summer. And the board was able to see it in October. We have gone through 3 iterations of the budget, major iterations. The first one, the reason it changed, you know, we tried to really be honest about our revenue sources as much as humanly possible. I really have to thank Britt for that. She did a really good job on some of our fees and things like that, and just really thinking through what's actually going to happen, not like what we want to happen, but what would be realistic. And she actually did a really good job. One thing that she found out is through some quirks of billing, you know, and how Safe Built, we work with Safe Built, there's probably opportunities to increase the fees that she's getting in her department just through making sure that we are continually innovating on our billing processes, which is a very incremental change that's really good for Netherlands. So I just want to kind of point that out. That was awesome. We've done that work with all the departments. One thing this year is we've really tried to focus on keeping our costs as minimal as possible in every department. I think our department heads all do a really good job of that. So when we showed the board the first budget, it was about a $340,000 deficit in the general fund. But the really interesting thing is when you look at all funds together, we have a super healthy fund balance. Like everything is good. It's just that there is some stress on the general fund, most specifically from the police contract. And that is just it's just an expensive contract, but we all know, you know, the narrative, sometimes there's a narrative that Netherlands doesn't pay for police. We do. We pay over $1 million a year for that police service that we have through the sheriff's office. And it's a great service. They provide us so much support in things like the Caribou Fire and just different events that happen through town. So we're super grateful to have them here. After that came, what we did is we worked with the board in a work session. We got that deficit down to right about 300,000. And there was some things in there that we had to work through. The town gives support to the food pantry as one direct support. And then also for our Health and Human Services Fund, there's a ballot process that, or not a ballot process, but an ordinance process we go through to show how much money we give for that Health and Human Services Fund from the lodging tax. So we worked through all of those things and we came down to where we're just under 300,000. Then Caribou Fire happens. And we wanted to make sure we're being making sure we're adequately tracking sales tax and those things because they are important overall. But as I just told you, I think because of some of the way the board acted early on and giving us the ability to move quickly and getting people into new spaces, I think that some of that may be mitigated, some of the damage from that. We still have work to do in that space. That's not done yet, and it never really will be done. But I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to be able to make most everybody whole and into a new spot. It's just a matter of figuring out the details at this point. So that's why I said at the mid-year, what we're going to do is we're going to do a mid-year financial update. There were a couple of things that we started doing that just to save money. One is we eliminated our previous public engagement officer position. That may or may not last. We'll see. It's a really important job for us. And one thing I do have to, again, I'm thinking Britt a lot tonight, but she's really taken on the bulk of that work for us this year, which has been super helpful. She's done a really good job on the website and all the different work we're doing. But that's something, we'll continue to have that need as we move forward. So that's something that if our budget comes in better than we expect, maybe we look at that again. Another thing that is really important for the budget this year is, as all you'll know, we've been considering buying Eldora ski area, and that changes the math completely. But what we did this year is try to budget very honestly about the departments we have currently and thinking through what our needs are and what our fund sources are now, so that Eldora, the whole intention of Eldora is it runs like a business separate from the town, and it will have positive impacts on the town as we kind of move forward. But the goal is to make sure that we're running our funds that we have now in a sustainable way. And so overall, I think what I would tell you is this is not a time, we have a deficit. This is second year of, well, depending on how you look at it, it's the second year of having a structural deficit. The Governor Finance Officer Association recommends that if you do have to have a structural deficit, you get it as close to 5% as you possibly can. I want to say we're going to be right about 6.2%. But one thing is that last year or this year, I guess, we were on track with sales tax. We were up on sales tax for the first time in recent history in Netherlands. We had a very good summer, and I think that is largely due to the work that the town boards have been doing, the DDA has been doing, the businesses have doing. We've been really trying to focus on that summer maintenance plan and making sure, we're getting striping done downtown now, which is really big. But I think Netherlands is starting to, all the work that y'all have been doing is coming together. I've been telling people a lot that when Miranda was here, y'all were setting the pins up, and now we're just knocking them down. And that's what we're doing. So my message to the board is it's not a time to panic on that deficit. We're very close to getting it fixed. I think next year, some of the work that goes into that is considering whether we can have a marshal that maybe reduces some of the costs we're paying to BCSO and balances that out a little bit. We're going to be looking at some of our software and just efficiencies. I've got our departments working on what we're calling service level agreements with the community so that we can really focus our work on what quality of life means in Netherlands. We want toilets to flush, but we also want, streets to drain and all of those kinds of really good things that come along with living in a community. And, like organizations like our food pantry, we want to make sure they're supported too, because they're a part of our fabric here. So overall, I think what I can say is that it's never good to be in a structural deficit, but moving into this kind of, well, for me, what is essentially my second full year of Netherlands, I see a really bright light at the end of the tunnel. And one of the things that's kind of a silver lining of the fire is that we are going to have an opportunity to rebuild a significant chunk of our downtown and really think about what a modern Caribou Village looks like for Netherlands. That building was special and important, but I think they're interested in looking at what the 2025 version of that building is. How do we support the businesses that make Netherlands special and the people who really called that place home? And I'm excited about that work. I'm also excited about the Black Forest building. I think that's another development opportunity we have ahead of us. They've been interested in looking at opportunities to bring that into kind of community space again. And so that could be something that happens too. Another really positive economic outlook for us right now is the Vault property is opening. They've got most of the way through all the kind of the work they had to do. There's a couple things they're working on that aren't going to prevent them from opening, but some of the businesses have opened in there. It's a beautiful building, and it really shows, I think, the spirit of Netherlands, which is this small scale businesses, like mom and pop style businesses, if you want to use old fashioned language, that you come to Netherlands for. You're not going to get them anywhere else. And that's what I think our path forward is. So I don't know if Mayor Pro Tem Sterling has anything she'd add to that, but I'm really proud of the team on this budget process. I think it was smooth and efficient. And I'll say that because last year I came in right at the beginning, so I was kind of drinking from the fire hose. So I had a lot more time to think this time, which was awesome. So that was more than 3 minutes, but that's my spiel, I guess.
Well done.
I would agree. The budget process was extremely efficient. It was well laid out. Got lots of time to sit with it and to look at different alternatives. And so, yeah. And like you said, we're putting plans in place to get outside of the deficit in the future.
Great.
Yeah. Hey, John, I had a quick question. You mentioned the Black Forest. Is Tebow rehabbing that to get that prepared for some businesses to go in there?
Yeah, we're talking about that right now. They have a design. Tebow, I think one thing to know is he personally really cares about Netherlands. He's got a connection here that I think is special for him, and he really cared about Caribou Village, and he also cares about that Black Forest building. I think the challenge with that building is reimagining it into a modern space. So I've had some conversations with him about what that could look like. Is there opportunities for maybe the town or the DDA to be involved? You know, one of the things that's come up is like, I don't know if all y'all have been to Edgewater Market, which is a really cool kind of Avanti-like space in Edgewater, Colorado, that has modular retail in it, which is a really cool idea. And then they have a commercial kitchen that can push out different kind of food concepts. And I think when you think about some of the most successful things about Nederland, one of them is our farmers market. And that's because it's an opportunity for small scale retail to shine. You know, we have a lot of vendors that come to that either make bread or, you know, ceramic ware, whatever it is. But if we had a space that could be kind of an indoor version of that, it might be a really cool thing. And so I think that's kind of what he's been thinking. But it ultimately comes down to, you know, we're just figuring out what that looks like and how we do it. But I will tell you, I have had such wonderful conversations with him and his team. I think that they really do care and they really are thinking about, I think they're thinking about these two projects in the same scale that folks in Nederland are.
Thank you.
Right.
That's great to know. I had personally been in that building, moving somebody in and out of there last year, and I know it needed a lot of work. So I'm glad that they're looking at tackling that because it's such a great space. I'd love to see, you know, it utilized, you know, it's a historic piece of Netherlands. So
the benefit concert too, Jim, I've never been to a concert there before, but that space actually lended itself pretty well to having music. It was a good experience when they did it. So there may be some opportunities to just really think through what that place looks like as one of the hearts of Nederland. So
nice.
Yeah, that was very successful having that outdoor area there.
Yeah, great. Well, that's all good news. You know, I have to tell you, I feel like the fire was a tragedy, but it's really highlighted the opportunity for our community to come together and be there for one another. You know, I feel like the fact that there was no loss of human life was just a miracle, and that the wind was
And the wind wasn't blowing that day.
nothing at all. And so, you know, you look at, we could have lost the whole town and dozens and maybe worse lives lost. So, you know, this opportunity, you know, sometimes crisis spurs action, right? You know, so the crisis of the fire has spurred, you know, some new action on Black Forest, which maybe wasn't forthcoming. So I'm, you know, gotta look at opportunities where they come. Any other stuff you'd like to come?
So I did want to highlight,
Before we move off the
yeah.
budget, one last budget question. Where'd we end up on the co-responder?
So that was actually something I'm super proud of too. I have been, I don't have a great adjective for you, so I will say begging Boulder County to split the cost of our co-responder with us since I got here. It's just a very expensive contract, but it's so important not only to Nederland, but to the peak community, including Lions. I can include Lions in that space. And one of the things that Lynette is really good at is serving that whole community, but still putting you know, a priority here in Nederland. So I'm happy to announce that Boulder County just got a grant to split the cost of that contract with us. So our cost will probably be about $65,000 next year. We had about $100,000 in ARPA funds left. And some of the certainty about reporting on those funds has gotten tighter just with the administration change and things like that. And so we had some original ideas about how we could use that funding for things other than ARPA, but we're going to end up using it mostly just for the co-responder, just to be careful so we don't end up getting audited or anything. So we will have a co-responder here in Nederland at least through 2026, but we've structured the contract. So if we can figure out how to do it in 27 through the same structure, we should be able to continue along that path.
That's great news, John. Thanks.
They're just solving these problems left and right. I love it.
Yes.
Knocking down pins.
So I wanted to highlight, we have opportunities on some boards. So applications are due Wednesday, December 10th. We have one position on the Board of Trustees, partial term ending April of 2026, one alternate position on SAB, and 3 regular member positions on the DDA. So if you know anyone interested,
Get the word out.
get the word out. That would be awesome. So Macy and I just posted this today. And they can go to our new website. It's posted on our window and it's on our social media. So feel free to share it, email it, whatever. We'd love to have some good applicants in there.
So for the BOT position, it'll just be based on, the Board of Trustees will just appoint somebody based on the applications?
If they choose to, yeah.
If they choose to.
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
Yeah, the other thing I did want to highlight is the volunteer party is on the 11th. You will all be receiving a, invite. It's from 5:30 to 7:30 and it'll be in this room.
what day of
So
the week is that?
what's that?
What day of the week is that?
I think that is on
So the 11th.
Thursday?
a
Thursday.
Thursday, yes. So yeah, we'd love to see you guys. And then Holiday Mountain Market is December 6th and 7th. If you know of anyone interested who would like to volunteer, feel free to have them reach out to me or Dawn. I'm getting some staff together, but yeah, if anyone wants to come by and hang out with us, that'd be cool.
We could
Or
really
help us-
use the help. It's a big
Yeah,
event and we really need help if we can get it. And we can give you an easy job if you want to, so.
mind. I will be here Friday and Sunday.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
What are the duties? What is it that you need help with?
So I think we've got a pretty good team for taping and setting up. A decent amount of people for sitting down, but really it's kind of those in between hours of like people that have questions, need navigation, just kind of being help for any of the vendors that are here, you know, throwing stuff away, getting stuff, whatever it is. It's really just an extra name for the community center.
And do you have like a set amount of time they're signing up?
Yeah,
for
so I have a sign up sheet. I think we're doing it pretty much in increments of 4 hours. So you don't have to do 4 hours, even if you wanna, somebody wants to come do 2 hours, I'd appreciate it. And I'm happy to share that with you guys. If, you know of anyone who would wanna sign up, they can also. Many times, yes? Did somebody say something?
Sounded like it.
I did.
Well, I would encourage you to post that on NetHeads because
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think that people have looked and been felt hopeless about what to do after the fire. And they want to do something to help, and here you go, come help
That's a
us
good
down
idea.
staff who are exhausted.
Yeah.
Put something in the Mountaineer.
Yeah, that's a great idea too. Other things I wanted to acknowledge is, our utilities team. We got that generator fully installed at Hilltop, so we now have a backup generator up there. And they flushed out tons of hydrants, valves. So we're moving on. Our teams are really working together. Josh is really refining that snowplow plan. Other than that, another update, code enforcement world is super heavy. This time of year, we get a lot of lights. So it,
A lot of what?
lights, so your lights must be down,
Oh.
shadow,
Downcast lighting. Okay.
Yep, and so once again, feel free to send people to me. And EV chargers, so I have a call set up with them on Friday. It looks, they finally got an install to a reboot, so what was happening is our power goes out so much with Excel that it was just setting the system offline. And so then I'd have to go manually turn it on and off, and yeah, and so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, by next week, I'll be able to play around with it, make sure it works, and hopefully by Thanksgiving or right after, it'll be up and running. So-
Give me a call, I'll.
Wait,
come over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have an EV? Cause I need an EV car.
Mine is in your-
Certified in EV.
I'm about to be an
Installation.
expert. They better hire me too. But yeah, other than that, I did wanna just kind of throw out there is going to be a wastewater treatment plant tour on the 9th. If anyone is interested or you know of anyone interested, it's my favorite out of both plants. I highly recommend going. It's really cool. And there will be some town talks that will be posted out here soon, so keep an eye out for
I
that.
meant to, was there something on Tuesday too?
There was the water treatment
Yeah.
plant, yeah.
I learned 2 things last night, that our meters are working. Our new
Yeah.
meters are working, then we're getting 15-minute data, which could be profoundly helpful
Yeah.
going forward, and that we're a lot less close to capacity than I once
Yeah,
thought.
correct. Yes, yeah, so I think that's been a rumor that's gone around for a while, but, yeah, our new meters you can actually download an app on your phone and see your water usage. Very, very cool.
Get a good turnout for that tour?
I don't know. I was gonna say wastewater is way cooler, if I'm being
We
honest.
It was more water department people than anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I meant to come to that. I just.
That's where I learned all these things.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I will sign up and come to the wastewater. I went when it
Cool.
first opened,
you should.
but it is very
Yeah, it is cool, especially if they have the digester running. You can go over there and it's super cool. I nerd out on that
It
stuff.
sounds like too, we're getting our waste transportation costs way down.
Yes.
We're driving that down and save a lot of money.
Correct, yeah, there, I will give the utilities team, kudos. There's a lot of projects that in the past we have not done as town staff. They've kind of contracted out and our team has really done a lot of that work by themselves, like replacing the hydrants and things like that. We never did that in the past. So it's really cool to see them take that on as a team, and all of them are continuing to get their educations and
Yeah, Brian's just rocketing.
yeah, I think every single one of them has some type of certification now, which is cool.
Well, I give kudos to all of the town staff,
Yes.
from John all the way down, because you guys, people here know, we know that there's some people who are no longer with the town, and you guys have all stretched and absorbed all those extra
Yeah.
jobs. You know, so we really appreciate your hard work, and then having the fire on top of that just made things that much harder. And I'll tell you this, because I told it to my wife, who still doesn't listen to me. You know, when you work at 100% capacity and an emergency comes along, you don't have any reserve capacity to stretch. So you gotta protect yourselves and you gotta protect your people. And 85%, that's the number for the night. You know, you work at 85% capacity, you have a little bit to stretch when something unexpected happens. And that means no 80 to 100-hour weeks, John. And
Yeah, John.
okay.
Thank you for letting me be remote tonight for that very reason. I really appreciate it.
Promote a lot more often, buddy.
Yeah, other than that, obviously I won't see you guys in December and appreciate you giving me that capacity. But yeah, would love to see
I've been
you.
volunteered.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would love to see you guys at the volunteer, would love to see you, even if you don't, like, if you're coming to shop the Holiday Mount Market, come find me. But yeah, other than that, next time you see me, I'm gonna have graduation photos for you because I will be graduating.
Ooh,
as a
congratulations.
Wow.
Certified, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. My graduation is the 6th and I take my finals this weekend, so please keep your fingers crossed.
We will definitely.
Very excited, yes.
I
Other
have
than
nothing
that,
but confidence in you. I think you're,
yeah,
okay. Thank
Cool.
you very much.
That
All right.
concludes other business.
that's other business. Anything else?
I just quickly before, did you have anything other than what I think you're gonna do? You just do the motion? Okay. I just wanted to thank you guys for everything that we accomplished this year. It's been a busy year. Think about comp plan, sub-area plan, overlay district, huge things, huge changes for the future of our town that we got accomplished this year. Natural Medicine Act ordinance, PUD and ordinance 865 for variances, you know, land use stuff. So I just am very thankful of the willingness of folks to come in for extra meetings and the work that was done. I feel like it's all good work and it's gonna pay off because this is gonna shape this plan, and if it gets passed, you know, by the BOT, is gonna shape the building environment for our future for the next 30 to 50 years, you know, for our town. So great job. Thank you very much. And I look forward to working with you guys next year. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
God, it's hard to believe in.
Yeah, crazy. I would entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
Alrighty, all in favor?
I
Aye.
Alrighty, thank you guys online. John, Jennifer, all of you have a good night and
Good
see you
night,
next.
everyone.
Thanks, Britt. Thanks, Jim.